Well, how y'all are this afternoon? This is your buddy George Jones over here at the Bergen Gun Range with my next installment on let's grade out an old M1 rifle. So the old M1 rifle we have today is this guy, U.S. Rifle Caliber 30 M1. Now we've seen these on this channel before, but like 30 caliber carbines, I just continue to grade them out as I find them and figure out exactly what they're worth and what their attributes are. So this rifle is a Winchester, and it says on it U.S. Rifle Cal 30 M1 Winchester trademark, and is in the $2 million range. Okay. Now, what's its attributes? Well, when I got this gun about 3 weeks ago from my cousin Ed, it had a lock bar rear sight on it. Now, I don't like lock bar rear sights. There's a little tension bar right there that you have to keep tight all the time, or it'll simply vibrate off of there and your rear sight assembly will fall apart. So I don't like them. I like the good positive snap and clicks, you know, for elevation and windage. So I simply took that off there. If you have one with a lock bar assembly on it and you're tired of fooling with it, the lock bar assembly is worth a couple of $100 in its own right. You know, so you can take it to an M1 guru and he'll gladly change you out to this configuration, the more modern configuration, and give you boot. Okay, it has a Winchester bolt in it. It has a Winchester op rod in it. It has a Winchester trigger guard and trigger group body, but I don't know who the other parts are made by. It has a bolt in it, which is a SA-47. So this gun was rebarreled after World War II in 1947 to a Springfield Armory barrel. Now the barrel that's in this one gauges really good. The muzzle gauge is good. You know, a 308 diameter bullet. One of the ways to gauge the muzzle is this way. See how far in there this bullet will go, and that bullet doesn't go in there very far. I've seen M1 rifles that go in there all the way down to the shoulder, you know, and this one won't even get started in there good. So it's in pretty good shape. But my buddy, who's a M1 rifle, carbine builder, you know, looked at it and put all his gauges on it and said that it is a barrel of really good quality. Overall, this gun's worth was when I bought it, because I bought it sight unseen, at $1,000. And then we made a very interesting discovery. It wouldn't cycle. It would fire and shoot straight, but it wouldn't cycle. So in some investigations, we found that the gas cylinder, that's that part, the gas cylinder retainer, that's this 8-ring part, and the gas cylinder plug were all welded in there. Little spot weld in there. Somebody drilled a hole in right there and welded that in there, drilled a hole in there, welded that in. And the gas tappet, which this is the grenade launcher type, it has a tap in there that's spring loaded, okay, that releases gas when you've got the grenade launcher mounted on it. The gas tappet, gas plug, had been drilled completely out. Now why would you do that? You know, I racked my brain about it. Finally, I knew an old boy that worked for the CMP as an assembler, and I called him up long distance and asked him. He said that the reason why they done that to several thousand guns over the years was for funeral salute purpose, where they fire the gun, then they cycle the action, they fire the gun, they cycle the action, okay? And that's why that was done. Which I don't see why you would do that, because a blank without an adapter won't cycle the action. You know. So maybe they were shooting live, I don't know. But So I went back to my fella that I bought it from, that I've been bugging him to sell it to me for the last 10 years. I went back to him and there was a price adjustment. So this turns out to be a $600 gun. That's nice. You won't find one that works good and shoots right for $600 anymore, ever. I think the first M1 rifle I ever bought I paid $150 for. And it was high then. I was making like $1.16 an hour. But I've shot this gun and it shoots rather well. Stock is not busted. Top guard is not busted. The stock, front ferrule, and top guard, top wood all match pretty nicely in color and so forth. It has a World War II canvas sling on it. Stacking swivel is where it's supposed to be. Of course, all of the front end on it's been replaced with acceptably good parts. The butt plate, let's talk about that. We always talk about the butt plate when we talk about an M1 or any other military rifle. The butt plate fits good and the stock is larger than the butt plate. Okay, why do you look for that? Well, because over the years these guns would be scraped down with broken glass and re-true oiled at the company or platoon level so many times that eventually the stocks would get down there to where the wrist was really small and the butt plate was larger than the stock. So this stock doesn't have any showing of cartouches on it whatsoever. There is a P acceptance mark on the inside of the wrist of the stock. Leads me to believe that it is a World War II stock, but it was probably new old stock, replacement stock that was put on it. There is a lot of finish wear on the gun, but you can tell where it still has remnants of the original green Parkerized finish. So overall, it's in good shape. I would give the gun's numerical grade at 85 to 90%. Mechanical condition is perfect. Overall appearance of the gun is correct. Okay. Function is perfect and reliable up until what we're fixing to do. And then overall, I'd say this gun is a $900 to $1,200 gun in today's market. For those of you out there hunting for M1 rifles and you've been to the CMP website and had the poop scared out of you, you know, if you see one like this in this condition, or even a Springfield Armory in this condition, you know, it's $900 to $1,200. Any reasonable person would have to pay that. All right, now what are we going to do now? Well, we're going to shoot it. I know for a fact that it shoots. It shoots my funky reloads. I've got some of that Greek. It's not Greek manufactured. It's repatriated from Greece by CMP. And South Korean repatriated ammunition that was manufactured in the 50s in the big ham can. I've got some of that. It all works in it. I've got some PPU M2 ball equivalent, and it all works in it. And I've got some 150 grain soft point Winchester USA or Winchester, what is it? This stuff. And it works in it because it's within the acceptable parameters close to being the pressure and bullet weight and velocity of M2 ball, which is (2,820 feet per second). And the pressure is equal to M2 ball. So as long as you've got this stuff, or the Federal or any of that in the 150 grain, which an M1 rifle is designed to fire 147 grain ball ammo, you know, at 2,800 feet per second. As long as you've got this stuff, you're good. You can shoot that. It's no problem. But the question is, will it shoot this? Yeah. That is a 30-06 Remington accelerator. It is a 228, 243, I don't know what it is. It's smaller than a 243, obviously. But it is larger than a 5.56 bullet with a polymer sabot on it, and no longer made by Remington, no longer loaded by Remington. But I was curious today, if we're going to bring this gun out and show it, I figured we'd bring a gun out and shoot it with something new. So I went out of my way to go out and load up a Clipazine with these. And see if it'll actually work. See if it'll actually work it. Grand thumb my ass. You get your thumb caught in an M1 rifle action, you shouldn't have an M1 rifle. I'm just telling you. All right, let's get her off of safetification and point it down range to something we might be able to hit and clip one off. Holy cats, it'll work it. And it shoots good too. It throwed that case way over there. All right, we'll shoot one or two more. This may be my new Coyote gun. This thing shoots pretty good with them things. Yeah. Yeah, don't move that heavy steel target like a big full metal would. But it hits it every time at 25 yards and functions perfectly. It throwed that cotton picking spent brass. Well, I'll have to walk down to Macquarie County and get it. All right, now, I've demonstrated how to get an M1 rifle loaded without having to go to the emergency room. Let's see if I can demonstrate how to get one unloaded without going to the emergency room. Get that all got all safe. See this guy right here? This bar? That's a clip latch, okay? What you do is, you bring your rifle up here, you pull your slide back and hold it. Reach up there and hit that lever. And they all go flying, buddy. That's how you get it unloaded. Yeah, that's how you get it unloaded. I'm looking for 5 rounds now. I think I shot 3. Maybe I shot 4, I don't know. I'm looking for a Clipazine. There's a Clipazine. Frankly, I didn't think it would feed them. Just to tell you the truth. I honestly didn't think it was going to feed them. I'm pretty sure I fired more than that. I think I fired 3. Gotta be one around here somewhere. There it is. Yeah, I fired 3. Let's see if we can find them hulls. Sheesh. They went right over here somewhere. Oh, there's one. Oh! Yeah. That's a good sign if it'll eject them. Well, that was a 30-06 until I hit it with a lawnmower. You find 10% of what you eject in the grass, you'll be lucky. Well, if you see one, yell at me. I'll pick it up. Well, I got one anyway. it over here in these grass clippings, and that's the end of that. Well, I'm gonna mow tomorrow. I'll find it then. I always do. Well, anyway, bear with me a moment. Let me get sent to say I keyed here. Ooh. I was really amazed that it would shoot that stuff, but apparently the velocity is right. Oh. All right then, gang. There's a little primer on grading out the M1. Now, I've heard a lot of people say, well, the finishes wore off of this. That thing is always shiny. You always see them shiny. Well, there's a reason for that. They're made out of investment cast stainless steel. Every one of them are. Okay? Back when they were made, originally, M1s, you know, all the ammunition was corrosive. There was a reason for it, why it was corrosive. They set out for it to be corrosive. So, anyway, all of these are stainless steel. That's why you see them, they're always shiny. Why would you make ammunition corrosive for general use? That's a good question. One I've answered in the comments a lot of times. Modern box of primed ammunition is loaded with barium nitrate, or some equivalent to a barium compound. That makes the ammunition non-corrosive when you shoot it. It's not the powder that's corrosive, it's the priming. Well, some of the older stuff like cordite, you know, the little spaghetti strands, it was corrosive. It had a lot of sulfuric acid in the formula, you know. But the priming, the fulminate priming, fulminate of mercury, fulminate of lead, so forth, that was what made that residue in the gun corrosive. So why would you have that? Why would you have a burred-in primed cartridge case? Well, the fulminate of mercury compound ignites slower than barium does. Okay? So if you've got burred-in priming with corrosive corrosive-based, mercury-based propellant in the primer, you want those two flash holes so pressure will build up and you'll get a more consistent flash. Okay? Why would you have mercury-based priming in the first place when barium is obviously cheaper to manufacture? Well, the problem with a barium primer is when it gets down about 25 or 30 degrees below zero, it just won't light. It just won't go off, you know. So you look at the Russians, boy, it gets ridiculously cold in some of the places they fought, you know. You look at the Germans, it gets ridiculously cold in some of the places they fought, you know. So you want to have that mercury-based priming that will still light when it's 500 degrees below zero, you know, just in case you want to get into a war on Pluto, you know. And that's why that's that way. We've kind of gotten away from it. Some of the barium, some of the non-corrosive formulas have gotten to where they give a little bit better ignition in colder weather, you know. But, you know, it's not completely taken over yet. Well, all right then, this video is 20 minutes long. You sit through it, you deserve a break. Go get an ice cream and a beer. Like it, take, share, commentate, and subscribe. Leave me no $1 in the Patreon bucket if you want to. I'll be putting up a lot of videos this year that are not monetizable anymore. Machine gun stuff and so forth. So, you know, drop me an old $1 in the Patreon bucket. That helps me out a little bit. Get your buddies to subscribe to me. That helps me with my analytics. And which helps me on the other end, which is ad revenue. And You know, that's another thing, you guys. I don't post non-skippable ads to my videos. I just don't. I hate sitting through a non-skippable ad to watch content, and I know you do too. So, you know, I turn off non-skippable ad, you know, and you're only supposed to receive skippable ads. God bless everybody. We're pulling for you over here. Okay? Remember, we're the gun people. We're the smart money in the room and the cool head in the room. Join the NRA. I don't care how many shiny suits Wayne LaPierre's got. NRA has the best gun lobby, you know, and the most lawyers to take these idiots to court, and they've taken a lot of them to court in the last couple of years. All right, then. Like, share, commentate, and subscribe. God bless everyone. God bless America, and we'll see you when we see you. Bye now.